Hi.
Oh, you're so cute. Look at your little Gen Z
Yep.
thing. I look like Nixon when I do it. You do it again. I want to try to do it. Do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing it?
Yeah.
I feel like you have a turn in that's like natural that I don't. No, with your arms. Like I go like out like Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This is not good. This is not good. Oh my god. Girl. Yeah.
Anyways, how
Yeah.
are you, girl?
I'm doing pretty well. I am I'm in the midst of allergy season right now, and I've
Oh yeah,
chosen
spring
to
has
appear
sprung
on camera without any concealer, so we're all just figuring it out.
us. You look great.
Oh, thanks.
So spring has sprung in Ohio.
Yeah, and in all the good and bad ways. Like, you get flowers and then you get pollen. And you get
Yeah.
nicer weather and you feel like you're gonna die when you breathe. Like, it's just, you know, it's like many
Now,
things happening at once.
it's so funny you say that. When I moved to Florida, I like pretty much my body reacted the way a white person's body should react in the tropics and like tried to kill me. Like
Yeah.
all of the pollen and tropical stuff down here. I actually needed to go to the minute clinic because my ears clogged so much and I had salt water in there from swimming and it like had backed up and like I had all this pressure, like I had a headache, but it was just ocean water. And they're like, yeah, like, are you taking anything? And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you did not grow up down here. Like, your body has no immunity to all of the pollen down here that is like super great. But I was like, no. I moved to Ohio and I had the same problem. And like, it took 2 to 3 years and I got used to it. And they were like, you'll die. I was like, oh my God.
Like, that's not how it works.
Right. Like, it's the fucking tropics and you're a white woman. Like, this is not for you.
Yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
happened when we went down to the Caribbean a couple years ago for that little event, and my skin just like was gone.
Oh my God.
Gone.
It was gone.
Yeah.
You had sunburn lines from my wedding for like
Year and a half.
literally a year.
Yeah. More than
It
a
was
year.
crazy.
Yeah.
More than a year.
That's what we like to call permanent skin damage.
Honey.
And I'm here to, yeah. I mean, it's cleared up pretty well now. My décolletage is looking much better. Uh,
Decolletage.
I love it. I love the word décolletage.
Also
I'm also in like vintage costume jewelry, so like you knew what you were getting with me, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's like, well, you don't know what you're getting with me because you know what? This is not an Oregon Pinot.
Oh, whomst are we having this evening?
French.
Well, you're like,
French.
it's wine, everyone.
It's French Pinot.
Oh, French Pinot. Please welcome to the stage, French Pinot.
Oh. Skills. I was thinking a good drag name for me right now would be illegal DEI.
Yeah. Maybe like DEI. I'm trying to, there's something there.
Yeah, I know. We got to dig deeper. No, you came up with. Didn't you come up with Chernobyl when we were in a dish break? Fucking
Yes.
brilliant.
Chernobyl. Oh God. It's like, I mean, it's sensational, so it's got that going for it.
It is. So let's welcome our duet to the stage, Dow Jones and Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, yeah, for sure.
Love it.
She's a hazard to you and me.
She's a hazard to your wallets.
Oh
Get
no,
out your-
she's a danger to herself and others.
Yeah.
That's the tagline.
You'll kill your children. You are? Got it. I'll back it up. We'll work it out in post.
Yeah.
We'll just keep workshopping. We're workshopping.
I might change my name, everyone. I might change my stage name.
So just your actual name. Too.
My actual, yeah. I go back to the court and say, you know what? Something's happened.
This is like a good time to change my name.
Yeah. You know what?
Not much going on.
Oh, not much going on. Just a little. I just needed to update some records.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that for you. I love that for you. Well, good. Well, we are here to talk about etiquette, and this could be a deep dish, is what we discovered in our pre-work. But
Etiquette.
we are doing this for the Golden Corral etiquette class story that is in like my top 5 of your favorite stories. Like
Your
Sex in the
favorite stories of
Graveyard.
mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What did I say? Whatever. You know what I meant.
Whatever. I know what
You
you
know what I
meant.
meant.
Yeah.
Sex in the Graveyard, Golden Corral.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I can't even.
that time that I didn't tell the guy I was trans until we were already in his car on the highway.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's
yeah,
another one.
Yeah. You know what? You know what you need to do. So, like, if I'm ever in a situation where, like, I'm in a coma and they're like, she's not going to wake up, I need you to whisper that you're going to go out with a guy and not tell him you're trans and go home with him. Yes. And I will wake up. And just be like,
yeah. Not only will you wake up, you will have like a weapon in hand. You know, like you'll just be ready to go.
So, like, say all the things, like whisper to my ear and be like, he's an older guy. I'm pretty sure he knows. I think I implied it, but we were having whiskey and I whispered and I was like, no.
His name is Walter. He's 58. And he's never met a trans person before. It's gonna be great.
He thought I asked about his transmission. And I'll just wake up.
Yeah, totally. Well, she wanted me to fix her car, and I said, little lady, it's either the transmission or the catalytic converter.
If I had a nickel.
If I had a nickel, yeah. So,
I'll just show them my nail file.
Etiquette. Ladies, etiquette. You gotta file those nails. You know what, gentlemen, too?
Not in public.
No, not in public. Absolutely not. We do not do hygiene in public.
One time, Angie Healy, former guest host of Covered Dish and famous roaster of Robin's song Dancing on My Own. Have you heard her joke about Dancing on My Own?
No, but I do love that song.
Oh, it's great. Her theory is that Robin is a ghost in that song but doesn't know it.
Angie has told us this. I remember.
I love that joke.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's like, anyway.
Yeah, that's so good.
Right. Shouts Angie Healy. If you're in Columbus, go see your comedy. We were at Bossy on a double date, and a woman flossed at the table next to us.
That's advanced.
And Bossy is a small restaurant.
Oh my God, that's advanced. I'm even embarrassed. So here's where I will draw the line, okay? I have lost a press-on nail at dinner, and as you know, this is a little life hack. I carry a tube of super glue in my bag at all times. Because
obviously
the nails come off, right? It's not a question of if, it's when. And so, like, I will glue on a nail under the table. I'm not doing it on the table, right? I'm doing it under the table.
And honestly,
in between cocktail laughs, take a sip of your drink, and then you're applying pressure.
You don't even see it.
Yeah, you don't see it.
Like,
right.
It's just like, you're like.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And then you go, and then nails are back on, you know what I mean? Yeah, I did use it, exactly. But, like, anything that's out in plain sight. Now, how do you feel about applying lip gloss? Do you have to go to the bathroom for that?
No. I put lipstick on at the table.
Well, that's sexy, right? It's sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here we go. We will set decorum aside in the interest of being sexy.
I just feel like, is my lipstick okay? We just ate.
Oh my God.
Yeah, totally.
My Alienware app on my computer was just trying to censor you. There was just a pop-up window. But you know what? We won't be silenced. We'll tell you all about it. Dish cam. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. This is part of a over 10-year process of me trying to get Brooke to do burlesque.
Oh yes. Which is where I just like sexily open lipstick and I'm just like I immediately become a monster.
Yeah. So we don't do hygiene at the table. That's something we can.
I'll do burlesque when I'm 80.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? We're gonna be in the home, and they're gonna wheel us into the sanatorium for our lunch and board games. And we're just gonna bring out the stereo, the cassette stereo, and press play, and just take off my cardigan. You know.
Yes.
What we're
gonna reveal camisole.
Rave reviews at the senior center. Shady Grove. Shady Grove. Share Noble set Shady Grove retirement home ablaze.
Again, this is her third nursing home she's been kicked out of.
She's a danger to herself and others.
Welcome to the stage, Chernobyl.
And I just like pop my dentures out. I just spit them across the room.
Yes.
That's the first reveal. No teeth.
This sketch is writing itself. Anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, I have a question for you before we get to the Golden Corral story because this
Make me work for it, girl. Make me work for it.
My mother, who got me into this business, told me to make them want more and then don't give it to them. So I have a question for you about napkin etiquette. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, it is customary to put the napkin on your lap. We all know this. When in the experience do you put the napkin on your lap? When do you do it?
When you sit down.
When you first sit down, right?
Yeah.
See, there seems to be some disagreement on this subject. It's either when you sit down before you do anything, right? You sit down, you put the napkin, you look at the menu, right? And then some people say you can drink water and order, and then you put the napkin once the food comes, and that's the signal for everybody that, like, okay, we're eating now.
But American continental dining, there's an expectation of bread service on the table when you sit.
Well, according to the 1863 Manual of American Continental Dining,
it's so deep in there.
There was an ancestor that took control of your body and said that. It was amazing. Wow, I was not disappointed.
Oh, okay, wait. I have a napkin. Retort?
A follow-up?
No.
A rejoinder?
I have a rejoinder. Thank you. When do you put the napkin on your chair, and when do you put the napkin on the table?
The napkin goes on the chair when you go to the restroom, and the napkin goes on the table once the meal is done. How'd I do? According to the American Continental Dining.
I think you nailed it. And then the other thing about American Continental Dining you must realize is every meal is served with peas.
Yes.
You just always have to be ready for peas.
And that's not a requirement, that's just for fun.
That's just for fun.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, that shit's buried so deep. Anyways, so I do think there is something hilarious that both of us had. My school also had etiquette training, and then I had additional etiquette training.
Yeah.
It's just fucking insane. But your public school had it, which I was shocked when you told me this.
We did, yeah. We in middle school, I think it was 8th grade, we took a very short, and I don't even remember which class it was in, but we had a short section on...
Like gym.
yeah, it was like gym or health or something. We had a very short section on etiquette. And they took us all out to apply what we had learned to the Golden Corral. And they paired us up in like girl-boy pairings, and we all had to wear a button-down shirt and a tie. And we got in a bus. So here's the funny thing about this for middle schoolers, is it's like, it's really incongruous when you're like learning about fine dining at an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's just strange. And so we had to like do the like arm in arm from the bus to the table, and then of course the boys are supposed to pull out the chair and then like push your dining partner. This is like the most stressful part, right? Because we're all like awkward, and also like our grade is on the line and we don't like each other. So like the worst part is pushing your classmate in their chair towards the table. It's like the most, I can't even explain.
Not too much, not too little. Like there's no sense of how to do it.
Right. And by the way, we haven't practiced this at all, so we're just figuring it out. Yeah. So then we do the napkin thing, and then of course like all the convention is out the window, because then it's like, okay, so now we go up to the buffet and get our like, you know, crab legs and Caesar salad or whatever. And then when we get back to the table, we're like trying to have what we think as middle schoolers is like fine dining conversation while we're like knife and forking our dinner roll. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Who was your partner? Do you remember her name?
No, I don't remember at all.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And you know what's sad to me is like as a person who is sort of charmed and endeared by these sorts of things now, I just feel like this whole exercise was counterproductive. Like I actually like etiquette and eating out with people and that sort of like the elevated experience, the dressing up, the like I like that stuff. I think it's fun. But I'm not trying to learn how to balance peas on the back of my fork.
Were there peas at the buffet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. So you all had to practice with that.
We did, but actually I think most of us like chose to practice with that because the teachers were not requiring that we got peas, but that was the most absurd thing that we learned. So we were all
you
like,
all wanted to do it.
yeah, we were all like trying to do it unsuccessfully.
And are you a prongs down girl to this day?
I'm trying to think about, yeah. I mean, if I'm generally using fork and knife, I'm prongs down. With peas
So
specifically, no.
I would challenge you. No, never with peas.
I'm scooping like peas and vegetables and things. I'm like, we all have to draw the line somewhere, okay?
Yes.
And etiquette is supposed to make everyone feel good. And if it's not making you feel good, this is why we take our shoes off at the wedding for when, like when we're at the reception and we want to dance, we all take our shoes off, right?
Right. I do feel like though, Eileen, there is something here. Like you're like, oh, it's weird that I had this experience and now I'm into it. Maybe you're into fine dining and etiquette only because of that experience.
That's a bold claim, Brooke.
I'm just saying it's not causation, but is it correlation? I mean, your parents didn't go through the etiquette course. I don't know if your sibling did. And here you are having been through it and you love fine dining and they don't. So, I mean, I don't know if they don't love it, but they're not like into it, like you're into it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Kind of, but like there's so many other facets of me.
No, it's just that etiquette class.
Brooke, you can't stop a runaway train. I was always going to be this.
That's true. And you know what? We're so lucky.
Thank you. I don't have a drink today, but I'm just going to like raise my costume rings at you. I was always going to be a flaming fairy. That's what it is. I was always going to be a lilac trans woman who is talking like it's the 1890s.
And the world is better for it.
Aw, that's sweet. Dowager clown, baby.
Dowager clown in the house.
Chernobyl. So how did your etiquette class go?
It was in gym, and then we had additional classes. I can't remember where.
Did you take a field trip?
We did not. We did it in the gym. I remember. And then I had another course in like at the country club that we belonged to. There was a lot of etiquette classes. There's a lot of etiquette classes.
Well, I would venture to guess the etiquette class at the country club was a lot better than the one in the gym.
Here's the thing about it. When you're a kid at a country club, you just like live on chicken fingers and French fries and like know your parents' number for the like you just like you know what I mean.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Because it was like, well, my dad was such a like epic. He was so into golf, and it wasn't a country club. Like they didn't have tennis courts. They had a pool, but like it wasn't. It was really like a golf club.
Yeah.
So like it was. It just wasn't. It wasn't the place to learn it. And then the staff was just like, these are fucking kids. Give them a club sandwich and tell them to shut the fuck up. And we're like, you're 19-year-old. You know what I mean? Like it was great.
Yeah.
But I think I'm glad I had it because I think like just being out and being in spaces, like there were spaces where I was just talking to someone about like the queer code switching I have to do and like so many spaces, especially here in South Florida, especially here in Palm Beach. And there's just access to spaces I'm in sometimes where I'm like, and I don't even think about it. but like the stuff at the country club was stuff like, how do you hold a glass, a cocktail napkin, an hors d'oeuvre all in one hand because you need to shake hands with people and get to know them. So it was like advanced ass. Like they were training us. They were like, it was Manchurian candidate shit. Where they're like, you are going to be a woman of the world. You are going to know how to move. You are going to whatever. And that's the stuff that helped me. Because I feel like I can pass in those spaces in a way that I don't have to think about.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, I think both you and I thrive to a certain extent in that environment.
We do.
We just like to mingle.
I know, but I feel like there's something so transgressive. I feel like I'm an intruder. Like I feel like I'm a Trojan horse. Like I'm just like,
who's gonna find out first? Yeah.
Like in like, and I, you know what I mean? Like obviously for the trans experience, it's like way different, and there's way more risk. But
yes, and I've gotten to this place where I have just, and it really was burlesque, I think, that allowed me to craft this persona that moves differently in those spaces and projects confidence, because I really believe if you act like it's normal, right? Like we all have an ability to control the energy of an interaction to a certain extent, you know?
Yeah.
Part of it is like mirroring someone's energy to try to make them more comfortable, or to ask people questions about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, right? I love that. Who doesn't love that? And if you are on edge, or you are projecting, you know, I don't know, you're closed off because you're self-protective, right? I feel like it's going to make other people self-protective. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying everyone has to know how to hold a shrimp puff and a champagne flute at the same time. You know what I mean?
Do you want to know how I do it?
Yeah, I do. I actually really do.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get some props. Keep going then.
Tell us your tips and tricks, girl.
All right. Keep going though. You were saying not everyone needs to be able to hold a shrimp puff.
Well, this is impressive to me though, because I tend to not have is that chalk or a crayon?
Yeah.
What is that?
Remember, I have that chalkboard. We did like diagrams or whatever one time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Chalkboard.
Oh my god, girl, I love this teachable moment. I'm putting you on Dishcam.
It's still here.
I'm putting you on Dishcam, and this is definitely going to be the thumbnail. Is you drawing on the teacher, call on me.
First of all, you were a total teacher's pet, probably because if it was a male teacher you had a crush on.
Well, yes, and I mean, I was an insufferable teacher's pet. All the children hated me. Oh my god, yes. That's
Look at my fucking terrifying serial killer handwriting.
No, it's so good.
All right, so etiquette 101. So this is great because we have props. So you do this. So you have this, right? And then we'll use my vaccination card.
Nice. Why do you have that right there?
Just my cocktail napkin.
Oh my god.
Wait, I also have Stoff's coffee bean of the month. And I keep, every time I go, when I'm in town, I get one and then I save them all. But I still don't.
I hate loyalty cards. You always have 5 of them and then they have to combine them.
I fucking hate them, yes. And you put it at the base like this.
Yep.
Okay, hold on, I got it. Okay. So, okay, here's the glass. And the glass, the reason you do this under, see, is because it's going to help you keep this steady.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is like a cocktail plate, you're good. Right? Now it's like it would be, you know, a little cocktail plate.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's a napkin, you have it here and you fold it.
Oh, very smart.
I'm saying, so then the little shrimp puffs in there, and then it's hello, Senator.
Oh, hello. Hello, Senator Keeley. Leave room for coffee.
and then just
Chalk.
So you got to be ready.
Yeah.
Stay diligent.
You know, my solution to that has typically been I just don't have hors d'oeuvres and drink at the same time. I just do them separately.
First of all, I wish I could do that. Here's the problem. When you don't eat meat and you don't eat cheese, and you are mingling in Columbus, Ohio, if you don't eat the vegan or pescatarian things that come your way, the moment they do, you will die.
You starve.
Because they're like, you want a beef Wellington covered in cheddar? And I was like, oh my God, no, I do not. How about a pork empanada covered in cheddar?
And you're like, what do you have that's vegan vegetarian? And they're like, oh, we have some broccoli covered in nutritional yeast. Would you like some of that?
I wish they had that. They bring over like, oh, we have a caprese pizza bite. I was like, that is literally piles of mozzarella on it. And it's like, well, it's vegetarian, bitch.
Yeah.
Hope you like whole basil leaves. Hope you like eating like a rabbit. Anyways, I really love Ohio. I do.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel. They're like, we have caprese canapes, which is really hard to say, and it's literally just a loaf of bread. And they go, here you go.
Yes. Please welcome to the stage, caprese canape.
Oh, I like that. Caprese canape. That's fun. Nobody will know what it is. This is my problem. Nope. Yeah, this is my problem constantly with my humor, my references in my acts, and my drag name ideas. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay, first of all, I love all your sense of humor and your ideas, so we're going to just couch that.
We're just going to flip the script on that.
You were spiraling in the pandemic, and Dowager Clown did not work. And
no, that was the hill I was willing to die on.
I'm proud of me for convincing you not to do it.
You really stepped up as a friend. Listen, let's talk about radical candor. I was all in this idea, and she was like, girl, no.
You were down a pandemic spiral rabbit hole doing full drag clown makeup like every night.
Every night, yeah.
And you were like, no, this is the look now.
No,
like, oh.
You don't understand. This is who I am now.
Yeah. I was like, hey, girl, I don't know.
Let's check in. Do we need to start you in a program, maybe? You okay?
Yeah.
Etiquette. Sometimes drag clown makeup is actually what's called for. Let's talk about dress codes.
Dress code etiquette? I was going to say, what's one night stand etiquette rule you have?
Oh, that's more fun.
Like, let's make it sexy as we wrap up. All right. One night stand etiquette the day after. One thing you're like, this is etiquette.
Keep it to one text.
Ooh.
Keep it to one text. If we're feeling great, we want to text more, that's fine. But like, I don't know, everyone's different with this. But with me, I'm just gonna go ahead and take up space, which is my prerogative, sister girlfriend. For me personally, I would rather, like, if we're gonna keep talking, which of course you might decide that you're not gonna keep talking. If we're gonna keep talking, like, I don't want to hear from you much the day after. Like, I want to hear from you in 2 days, right?
Oh, interesting.
There's a cool off period for me.
You need that.
Yeah. And if it truly is a one night stand, you're not talking to him again. So.
That's true.
But if you're like, this could turn into a thing, like this could be a regular thing, then just like, it's very easy to overload me with like contact, and then I'm like, no thanks.
Oh my God. That's why we kids just never date. I am the total opposite. I'm like, if I don't get a like amazing night text, I'm like, fuck you. I will kill everyone.
Oh no, I like that. I do like that.
Okay.
I like an immediately after, but
me too.
But it's not like a long conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for me personally, it's like, wow, had a really great time, whatever. And then it's like, okay, good night, whatever. No.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Don't you, to all of you out there, right? To all of you out there, do not expect that you're going to like stay over.
Oh my God.
People are not staying over. What has always like mystified me is this whole conversation about making breakfast for somebody the next day. And I'm like, I got some bad news for all of you. That's never even going to be a possibility because you're driving home.
Well, okay, it depends on the situation, but breakfast in the morning is great.
No.
You know what it is?
Get out.
Lesbians, I will stand in this. Lesbians love instant nostalgia. We love like reminiscing about 4 hours prior. And
Yeah.
this is a hill I will die on. Like truly we'll be like, oh my God, remember when we were at dinner? It's like it was 20 minutes ago, Sharon. Like that
It
is
just
100%
happened.
us. Yes.
Yeah.
We love instant nostalgia because we're just like, memories legitimize my emotions. And it's like, that's not true. Like they're too far. You know what I mean? So I love like a morning after, especially when it's like something where it's like, oh, we were like a group thing, and then we started vibing and this and that, and it just kind of happened. And then we can just be like, oh, like the next morning I made coffee and breakfast. It's like, oh, I was actually making eyes at you all night. And oh, I knew. And then you just like reminisce and oh my God, you would hate it. It is tough though, because as somebody who eats like really specific food, I can't, I'm like, they're like, oh, do you want like a like cheddar omelet with toast? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah.
The only the only person I've ever had a morning after with is my partner.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. I don't know what it is, Brooke. I just like we've had
syrup on that, audience.
like we've had our fun. It's been great. Do I need to call you an Uber? Like maybe it's time for you to go.
This is hilarious, and that's the true etiquette tea.
That's the true tea. That's
Girl, we are over time, but it was worth it.
I know. I feel like we could go for a whole nother hour on this topic.
We may have to revisit.
Yeah, we might.
Etiquette.
Etiquette's fun. Like there's so many like different little things. Like people have different ideas about it. And we've discussed and it's fun to spell. And girl, I think that you and I have discovered we have a lot in common, but it's always fun when we discover some differences of ours too.
Yeah, because I like everyone at the Home Depot in Old North thinks we're dating anyways, and I'd like to go back and tell them why we're not.
Speaking of nostalgia, next time you're in town, you want to just like go look for some, base molding or like drywall screws or something.
Quarter-inch screws.
Yeah, something. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. We get more super glue for my nails. And you could be like,
oh my God.
Yeah, darling, I found the nail glue. And I'd be like, oh, and I'll just run over,
We will open the dish next time with how you keep the super glue closed in your bag. Because that would terrify me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sure. But there's the bottle that maybe we should leave some mystery for next time. I'll just have you wonder.
It's a cliffhanger.
I'll just have you wonder at home. How does she possibly keep the lid on? You'll have to wait next Tuesday to find out.
All right, Queen, I love you.
I love you too. See you all next week. Bye.